and he just picked up some peaches and some red raspberries, some blackberries, some plums, some nectarines, green beans, broccoli, all from a local farmer, right? So we're getting this as much as possible. We're going to freeze a bunch of it. So we're literally buying a big old box of raspberries, right? Because we're getting them while we can. And then we freeze them. We bought in aftermarket freezers that were, affordable, and we bought 3 freezers. We bought a stand-up full freezer that's a full refrigerator freezer. We'll make a turkey soup, and we'll buy the organic carrots and celery and onions we grew in our garden. And garlic as well. And then we'll chop all that up, put that in the soup. We'll freeze a bunch of it. We have mason jars, and we just freeze it all up and put it in that refrigerator we have, that freezer refrigerator we have. So I want to talk to you about the problem with these packaged foods, right? So to keep our bodies in a state of, I'm sorry, the problem with these packaged foods is they keep our bodies in a state of chronic low grade inflammation. And that fire inside can set the stage for conditions like arthritis, diabetes, dementia, heart disease, and even autoimmune flare ups. I can tell you that by me eating, white bread or what was considered wheat bread, um, I had inflammation. I had arthritis in my right knee. I had arthritis in my hands. Didn't understand what was going on. I had all this, during COVID. I wasn't working out, right? We lived on the 41st floor of a high rise. You had to take an elevator down with other people. You don't know if they have COVID. There was a big scaremongering going on about COVID. And the gyms were closed, and I wasn't getting out to see clients. So I was getting a little on the depressed side. So I started eating a lot of packaged foods because we just weren't trying to make our own foods, which we should have been trying to do, and doing more research. So that's how I got into health in the first place. Was these autoimmune flare-ups that happened in my body, and me not understanding what was going on, and then finally losing the weight and losing all the diseases, and then right sizing, like getting rid of plastic anywhere possible, because plastic has neurotoxins in them. And then eliminating the packaged foods. It doesn't mean that I don't occasionally get like potato chips cooked in avocado oil, or sweet potato chips cooked in avocado oil. I'll bring a little bag for a snack occasionally, but that's all I bring. I just have that, and that is it. And I always preface it with having my veggies and my proteins first, and then that's kind of my dessert. I prefer, my taste buds have changed. I used to love sweet all the time. Now I prefer salty. So a little salty snack of some potato chips works great. But I always have my vegetables and my protein first, because that helps coat my stomach. It helps fill me up. And so I might not even eat the chips. So I'm not here to guilt trip you, about ever eating chips again. I'm here to give you the facts in plain English and show you simple swaps you can make this week that calm inflammation and help you feel like you again. So you remember, like, when you're in your 20s and how well you felt, and now you've got all this belly fat going on and other things going on, and you're like, what is going on? Well, I'm here to tell you these highly processed foods. And what are they? So researchers call them ultra processed foods, or UPFs. These aren't just frozen vegetables or plain canned beans. Those are fine, by the way. But UPFs are foods that are built from refined starches, sugars, industrial oils, and additives. So soybean, wheat, and corn are the 3 highest genetically modified items. And when they're genetically modified, they get sprayed with glyphosate. Glyphosate is a known cancer-causing chemical that has gone on to genetically modified foods or vegetables or fruits, because it helps them, I guess, with the processing, so there's no bugs on it. It kills all the bugs. And what happens with that is that this causes all this inflammation in your body. So it's better to get organic if you can. Don't use soy oil. Don't use coconut oil. Use virgin coconut oil, use extra virgin olive oil, use um, ghee. Ghee actually will cook at a high temperature without all the fat in there, and you'll be in a lot better place. We also use avocado oil. So a lot of these highly processed foods are built from refined starches, sugars, industrial oils, and additives. They're low in fiber, vitamins, and minerals, and they're designed to be hyper palatable. The I can't just eat one effect. That's what that is. So think sodas, packaged pastries, sweetened yogurts, chips, energy bars, fast food, frozen pizza, flavored cereals, and many packaged snacks. Studies link high UPF intake to more inflammatory markers in the blood and higher risk of chronic disease. So, why do processed foods stoke inflammation? Let me talk about the blood sugar roller coaster. All that refined sugar and white flour sends your blood sugar spiking. When you eat one of those, I don't know, bagels, right? Or you have some toast in the morning, you get this blood sugar spike and then you start crashing. And over time, this roller coaster pushing your immune system into a lower simmer of inflammation. And you want to see how I help at least my blood sugar with food? Check out my recipe for steak bites and mashed sweet potatoes. That's a really great way to balance your food, your blood sugar with food. Mashed sweet potatoes are a great, little treat, right? It seems like it's kind of sweet, but it's filled with fiber and it's got a little protein in it. So, gut irritants from additives. So, some common food additives like carboxymethylcellulose, CMC, and polysorbate 80, often in packaged ice creams, dressings, and sauces, have been shown to thin the gut lining and irritate the microbiome. When the gut lining is irritated, the immune system turns on. Think about like if you're putting a salad dressing on, look at the first ingredient. Almost every single bottled salad dressing starts with soybean oil. Now, soybean oil is highly toxic because of all of the glyphosate that is sprayed on the soy, the genetically modified soy. People are growing it everywhere, and it's highly available. Make your own. Use extra virgin olive oil, red wine vinegar, or balsamic vinegar, whatever you like. Throw in whatever spices you like. Nobody got ill from the spices. Just avoid the sugar, avoid the sweets. And if you are going to use a sweetener, use monk fruit extract or allulose. Allulose is actually shown to give some health benefits. So when the gut lining is irritated, the immune system turns on. And let's talk about advanced glycation end products, AGEs. When foods are cooked at high, dry heat, like fried fast food, they form compounds called AGEs. And too many AGEs equal more oxidative stress and inflammation in your body. And the damaged oils from deep frying, it's not just the oil, it's the process. Reheated oils, like in the fast food fryers, break down into compounds that are toxic to our cells. Listen to my podcast episode about fasting hacks you need to know about where where I talk more about how food quality matters during fasting. Diseases linked to inflammation, arthritis, Western processed diets are linked with more joint pain and swelling. A Mediterranean style eating, more whole foods, olive oil, and fish reduces your inflammation. Type 2 diabetes, more UPFs equal higher risk of insulin resistance and diabetes. And dementia, studies show that higher UPF intake increases dementia risk, while whole food diets lower it. So there's dementia and then there's arthritis. And arthritis is known as type 3 diabetes. So if you have any risk of arthritis, of dementia running in your family or Alzheimer's running in your family, get rid of the inflammatory foods. Get rid of the sugar in your diet. Do not have diabetes. If you have diabetes, start eating a whole food diet. I had pre-diabetes, high blood pressure, high triglycerides, and arthritis, and I was able to get rid of it all. I can run up and down the stairs again. No pain in my knee, no pain in my hips, no pain in my fingers. I can move my fingers. They're a little chilly right now because it's in the 50s today in northern Michigan. It's a little chilly. Anyway, heart disease and autoimmune issues. Think about chronic inflammation, diet that plays a huge role in both heart disease and autoimmune issues. So, what can you do this week? My calm the fire basics. Let me talk about that. So, crowd in whole foods. Build meals around protein and colorful plants and healthy fats like olive oil, nuts, and avocados. Swap your ultra processed foods for upgrades like instead of soda, get sparkling water and a splash of lime juice or lemon juice. Maybe do a little splash of cranberry juice that is not highly processed. You can find just whole cranberry juice. It won't be sweetened. So it'll be a little tart, but it's really good. Packaged cookies. Try apple slices with almond butter. Processed deli meats. Roast up a chicken or beans. Beans and rice are actually a full protein with amino acids, just rice and beans. So if you're on looking for an affordable diet, change up your beans, change up your rice. White rice actually tends to have a lot of toxins on it. So you want to make sure that you're getting brown rice or actually get wild rice. Not the boxed kind, just get the whole, wild rice and cook it up and soak it as you need it. White crackers use whole grain options. So I like to get some ones that are from the health food store that are made of seeds instead of white crackers. So I don't get any, I can't even remember the names of them anymore because I haven't bought them in years. But check your labels. If you see CMC or polysorbate 80, put it back. It's not good for you. Find another alternative. There are more and more healthy alternatives out there. We go to Walmart, we go to Costco, we find all kinds of snacky snacks that if you want to put them in your kids' lunches or if you want to have them for yourself, and they have no added sugar. Like I have these little dried fruit snacks and they're dried so they're crunchy, and there's apple with cinnamon, there's just apple, there's apple with strawberry, and that's all that's in there. There's nothing else in there. And it's all organic. It's so delicious. And I got it at Whole Foods. I got the potato chips there. I got the sweet potato chips. And again, I just bring a little snack, but I want something salty and crunchy. So cook wetter. So meaning stew, steam, or braise more often to lower your AGEs. And fiber is your friend. So aim for 25 to 35 grams a day with plants and whole grains. So I could tell you that in the morning, what I'll have is a organic Greek yogurt, plain Greek yogurt. I'll put in half an avocado in there. I'll put in raspberries, organic raspberries, blackberries, strawberries, blueberries, and then I will, which all of that has a lot of fiber in it. And then I'll put some chia seeds in there. I'll put in some protein, maybe 20 or 40 grams of grass-fed whey protein. And that really amps up my protein. I get all the fiber from the berries as well as the chia seeds. And then it's a great breakfast, and I am full until about 2 or 3 o'clock. So I do have copy and printable quick guides on ultra processed food swaps, like I said earlier, the soda for sparkling water plus fruit. Chips use air pop popcorn. Packaged sweets use fruit and nuts. Processed meats use lentils, beans, roasted poultry. Actually go to the store, get a whole chicken, boil it up in a pot, pull the meat off, shred it up and make it with some avocado mayo or make your mayonnaise at home. I know we're all busy. I know that, it's a time crunch, but what I tend to do is I make all the foods like we started last night. We took a whole half a turkey. We thawed it out. On Thursday night, we put it for thawing. And then Friday, we threw it into a pot and we boiled it. We pulled the breast off and the tenderloin off the turkey. And then we boil the rest of it. And now we're going to chop up. So now we've got a broth with the bones and the rest of the meat. And we have some organic carrots and celery and onions and garlic. We're going to chop all that up. We're going to saute that in some extra virgin olive oil, or maybe some coconut oil, or maybe some avocado oil or ghee. We're going to saute all that and then pour in the broth, pour in the chicken. We're going to shred all that chicken, put that in there, put in some lentils that we've been soaking since last night. And it's going to be a delicious soup. Some other ideas that I can tell you is that you can also do just roast up some vegetables. Like I'll take an eggplant, some tomatoes, garlic, onions, carrots, whatever, beets, whatever I've got. I mean, if you get a beet, it's going to be a red soup. If you don't put a beet in there, it won't be. So, and then I put olive oil all over everything, sprinkle it with some sea salt, and then I will start pulling things out as they get mushy. And I throw them into a bowl, and then I put them into a blender, and I just blend them all up. And I might take an immersion blender to blend it just a little bit more to make it smooth. I might add the lentils to that, but the garlic is already in there. The onions are already in there. The salt is already in there. You might add some pepper or some seasonings of your choice, maybe some Italian seasoning or herbs de Provence or whatever you like, go ahead and put it in there. Another option that you can use for white bread is use a whole grain sprouted bread or gluten-free bread, but a lot of the gluten-free breads are questionable as well. So what we do is we get a organic wheat, we grind it ourselves and we'll make it ourselves, or there's a great baker that we found that uses non-bromated wheat, and it's organic wheat, and they put they make it into sourdough, which is a lot better for you to have sourdough. And then if you freeze it and you also toast it, it actually will lower the glycemic index of the bread. So that's what we do is we take this loaf and we throw it in the freezer, we get it pre-sliced, and then we take a frozen slice out, we cut it in half, we throw it in the toaster, it toasts up nice, it's beautiful and crunchy, and then that's it. So, additives to watch out for: carboxymethylcellulose, CMC, polysorbate 80, high fructose corn syrup, artificial colors and flavors. And what are natural flavors? Do you have any idea what natural flavors are? I mean, this could be a concoction of plastics and bugs and all kinds of things. You have no idea what natural flavors are. If they tell you what natural flavors are, they can list all the different ingredients that they have in there. Good luck. And if you're going to find that information, good luck. So some final thoughts that I want to share with you is that you don't have to be perfect all the time, right? So functional medicine isn't about restriction. It's about making swaps that give your body what it needs to cool the fire, right? If there's a lot of inflammation. So if you start by reducing ultra processed foods and focusing on colorful whole foods, you'll see inflammation markers, energy rise, you'll see inflammation markers drop, energy rise, and long-term risk for arthritis, diabetes, and dementia shrink. And remember, every small choice counts, right? So here's your call to action. If you're ready to learn more about how to lower inflammation with food, subscribe to my podcast at the Larson Health Podcast on YouTube at the Coach Kim Larson. You can find it here on Facebook or LinkedIn, or check out my latest recipes like pesto and hummus turkey roll-ups. There's a lot of ton recipes. I can tell you that my site is the HTTPS fell off, so I need to renew that, and it takes several days for that to renew. So the website will be back up, I hope, by Monday or Tuesday, because it takes them about 48 hours. And I posted on Friday that I need help getting the HTTPS back up again. But if you want to, there's nothing on there that's going to be risky. So if you want to bypass your whatever you're using, you can do it. Like I do, I use an incognito page, and I can get to it. But anyway, so talking about processed foods, like there's somebody out there, his name is Mike, and he eats, canned foods all the time, spaghettios and raviolis. I mean, we had this as kids, but this man is still eating this stuff, and he's not eating like a whole pork chop and some rice cauliflower or some broccoli or some green beans. Have some sweet mashed potatoes. add some ghee to it. Just there's just so many options that you can have for whole foods. Whatever you like, just eat something that's whole foods. Just try starting those swaps now. We shop a lot at Aldi. We find wild caught salmon there. We find grass-fed, ground up beef or bison. You can find these healthy options. They have the grass-fed butter there. So we use that from there because it's more affordable. Buy pasture-raised eggs or, like the cage-free is like nothing. It doesn't mean anything. That could mean they get a little space for that. You want chickens that are actually like out roaming. Now in the wintertime for these farms that have chickens, they actually can find feed that it does not have any glyphosate in it. It doesn't have corn. It doesn't have wheat. It doesn't have soy. So we find our farmers that actually will do that. So if you live in the suburbs or if you live in Chicago, go to the farmers markets while they're still there. If you live in a big city like that, like New York, go to your farmers markets, right? Go out, take an hour or two drive outside of the city and go find your goods for the weekend, right? Go on Saturday and find everything that you need. Find your meats, find your vegetables, find your fruits. Um, or just find your local health food store that has those healthy options. Always look at your labels. Even foods that used to be healthy could have been bought out. I can tell you an example where I was buying, some products, some skincare products, and I thought, "Oh my gosh, this stuff is just healthy," and they claim it's healthy. Well, at some point somebody bought them, and I've been using this since I was in my 20s. And then all of a sudden I noticed all these chemicals that are now in it. And they still have we want to create healthy products for everybody, but it's all baloney. Whoever bought them is still making those claims, but all the crap is in the product now that was not in there before. So make sure that you're always reading your labels, like Siete Foods. We love Siete Foods. They're little Mexican cookies, or they're grain-free uh, uh, tortilla chips. But they just got bought out by Pepsi, and I think they have like a 2-year contract, so you gotta wait and see till after the 2 years are over and see what happens, right? Pepsi paid them billions of dollars for their product line, and I guarantee you they will find ways to cut corners. They won't use avocado oil anymore. They won't use the healthy products. They'll change it to something else like olive oil, which olive oil is not extra virgin olive oil. You need extra virgin olive oil. There's a bunch of different things that you can check out. Go to my website when it's up next week and check out the different articles that are out there about all the items that you can look for. I've just done recently a presentation at the Morning Rotary here, and I talked about all the chemicals that are within the foods, things to watch out for. You could print it off and you can carry it with you when you go grocery shopping, and eventually you'll get to learn it. And that's really helpful for just trying to help your body heal, right? So you got to get rid of the disease. If you want to get rid of the disease and get off the medications, because every medication that you take causes another side effect. And then they want to give you another medication to help with that side effect. So you always want to just be checking to see what you are getting. I hope this is helpful. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a message on Facebook or on Instagram, or message me on my website when it's up later this week, and I can help you guys out. That's what I do for a living is I help people get to a healthier place, and I'd be happy to help you as well. Hope you guys have a great day and happy Saturday.